Hey y'all, this is Sliders Prime. Yeah, I decided I'm probably gonna start calling myself Sliders Prime, seeing how that's what my YouTube channel is called. 'Cause I always call myself Sliders Review because I'm always reviewing sliders, but if the thing says Prime, it might as well just say Prime. Plus, I named my new YouTube channel Sliders Prime, so, Anyway, so I haven't forgot about those videos I said I was gonna make about like my favorite ones and the ones I hate and ones I like but don't love. However, I decided to hop back on this channel to see what's up, and I'm always getting the same comment on this one video talking about the audio is really hard about the chromag things. I'm just like, I wonder what they're talking about. Because I remember I used to use a different camera, an old HP digital camera, and I remember I used to use Windows Movie Maker. And whenever I would save a file, I would save the teeniest, tiniest file I could to save space, smaller than the actual small recommendation file. And of course, when you make things really teeny tiny, it degrades like the audio and the visual and all that other crap. So yeah, my older videos sound like I have a frog stuck in my throat. Sounds like I'm talking out of the bathroom, and I sound like, I don't know, like some weird metal crunchy audio crap. It sounds kind of weird. I'm thinking to myself, crap, dude. So I'm actually glad I'm re-uploading this video because I just realized something as I was starting to think about it. The chromags actually have three completely different origins, which just shows you how bad things were going over there at Fox and Sci-Fi when they started screwing things around in the third season. Now, the Chromats, they got introduced into the second season. They were mentioned only in the third season, but then they started to focus heavily on them on the fourth and the fifth season. And as we all sadly know, the fifth season is a load of crap, and it was the last. So, yeah, the three different origins. Now, you can kind of combine some of these origins together and just make your own makeshift origin, but sometimes they kind of contradict. So it'd probably just be best if I go through each origin, like from the season and whatnot. Okay, so the Chromats got introduced in season 2 of Sliders in the episode Invasion. And personally for me, I love the Chromats. They remind me of like Star Trek villains, alien villains, you know what I'm saying? But apparently the Sliders fans, from what Jerry O'Connell and the dude who plays Rembrandt, they say fans hated the Chromats and would send them angry letters to the studio telling them to get rid of the Chromats. And technically that's what they did. That's why they wasn't shown in the third season, and they wasn't shown anymore in the second season. And it was only mentioned in the third. But however, once the show got canceled for the second time and went over to Sci-Fi, they decided to bring them back because, you know, it just makes sense to have the Chromags on a Sci-Fi channel because they look so Star Trek-ish alien, you know? And so when they got introduced in the second season, their appearance was completely different. They looked like ape people. They looked like apes, monkeys in the face. They had long scraggly hair. They had like these weird ape-like fingers. And I actually prefer that visual than the one from season 4 and 5 because they look more unique and they look more scary. Like when I saw these dudes and I found out what they was about and how they kept chasing the sliding people, yeah, I feared for their life. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, what's the fun of TV if you don't put yourself in the narrative? So of course I'm thinking to myself, oh crap, dude, if I saw this thing in real life, I'll be scared too. You know, and it's just like, so they enter a world that the Chromats have already been on. But and then the people there that the sliders meet, they're like, you know, people in the mental ward and stuff. So when they do actually meet the Chromags, they are in their ship. And it's a giant space flying looking ship. Alien. It looks so alien, you know. They scared the bejesus out of like the sliders. And next thing you know, the timer starts to act up. And Quinn doesn't know why. But he decides when the ship is coming towards him, he's gonna point the timer at the ship and open up a vortex, and then like the beam like hits the ship, and then it crash lands. He tells them he figured since the frequency of like the ship is the same thing as the timer, he figured, you know, turn both on and it will kind of like crash both of them out, something like that. Hey, it's science fiction. Just run with it. You know what I'm saying? Just roll with it. So anyway, him and the professor, they decide to go and examine the inside the ship. Plus, they want to see if the pilot is alive. When they go inside the ship, it is about as 70s, 80s sci-fi as you can get. There's flashing lights, there are weird objects. There's barely anything in there. It seems to be kind of like almost like a techno-organic interior and stuff. Like, it's really old school sci-fi, and it's cool. And you have to remember, they was on a small budget back in those days. But you know, sometimes less is better. Sometimes when you have a bigger budget, things can kind of get kind of like lost in the way, you know. That's why sometimes I get irritated when they keep making sequel after sequel and their budget's a whole lot bigger, because then they start like adding more stuff on that's unnecessary. Or they go the whole CGI route and nothing's practical anymore. So anyways, they take this like wristband off their like off the chromag's wrist, and it's determined that their technology is very, very highly advanced, right? But they also see that the pilot neck is snapped. Once they take the little wristband thing off, an alarm sound. They hightail it out of there, and a ship appears. Quinn's unable to disable this one, but they end up like capturing them. Now, they meet a woman who they believe is the assistant to the Chromaggs, named Mary. She tells them that, you know, the Chromaggs are pissed that Quinn, like, murdered the pilot, and, you know, he's going to stand trial and be executed and stuff like that. However, they also trick the Sliders. See, chromagg technology is very, very, very highly advanced. They have the ability to make illusions appear to be real when you think you're actually talking to somebody and you're not. This was first believed to be done with technology, that they had that ability. But then in later seasons, it changed. I'll explain that later. But anyways, the technology is highly advanced. They have the ability to manipulate gravity. They can, like, instead of tying you up to a wall or chain you to a wall, they do something where they reverse gravity and it suction cups you to like the wall. They have like force fields. Their weapons are not laser based, but instead they're like some type of like high particle beam. It's revealed in the fourth season that like if they hit you in a non like lethal spot, then you will die slowly of radiation. If they hit you in a major area like your chest or head, you die instantly and stuff. Let's see what else. I decided I'm not gonna do like a review of that actual episode, more like of like the Chromaggs himself. So also with that second season, let's see, the Chromaggs, what else about them? Oh, no. So, Mary, they had her lie to the Chromaggs. Now, one truth that they told, they have conquered over 150 worlds. She tells them that the Chromaggs, they started like, you know, jumping from world to world, and they were shocked and surprised to see every world is populated by humans, and they hate humans. They have been made fun of by the humans. They have been ridiculed. They have received hatred and racism from the humans. So they hate humans, and because of that hatred and the racism they experience, they decide they're gonna conquer and enslave all the entire human race. But as we know, there are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions upon millions of worlds, and they only like conquered 150, so they got a ways to go, you know? And so Mary faked her own death, and it turns out she wasn't their assistant, she was their slave. And they because she helped them, she gets to like play in like this garden for like an hour. Then she has to go back to her cage. Now, it was said on the world that they're from is called Chromagg Prime, and it's a bunch of like skyscrapers and a jungle like world. And that's pretty much the season two of them. Their appearance, like I said, was more ape-like. Their clothes were, even they were very Star Trekish too. They was casual sweaters, like they were black with red stripes. And if anybody is a Star Trek fan, you know for a fact Gene Roddenberry, when he created Star Trek, the original series, he felt that Starfleet should have casual wear for their uniform. So that's why he had the original crew in like sweaters as opposed to more of the jumper outfits that you saw in DS9 and Voyager and those spandex type things that you saw in Next Generation. Now from season 3, where they was only mentioned but never seen. This is what's really interesting. Their origin has changed slightly once again. It is said now. Okay, do you remember the pilot of Sliders when Quinn met his double, the one that kept getting him in trouble? That dude said that he gave Chromaggs the ability to slide. Because before that, they was never sliding. And once he gave them the ability to slide, they rewarded him by destroying his Earth because they just wanted to conquer and everything. Now, see, these Chromaggs are kind of similar to that of season 2. Their origins of them wanting to conquer and destroy humans and stuff. So it's made to believe, since these two seasons are connected, it's made to believe, on the same network, it's made to believe that they didn't have sliding technology before they met the other Quinn. He gave it to them. They went to world and saw, oh, look, humans, gross, nasty. And decided to like conquer and kill them and stuff and enslave them. However, it never really explains their technology, like their ships and stuff. I'm assuming they already had it and they just combined the sliding technology onto their ship. You know what I'm saying? And like that's that. However, then you get into season 4. Season 4 is where things really change. A lot of stuff changed. The professor is gone. The actress who played Wade left. Maggie is now on the show. The show has moved from Fox to Sci-Fi. They still have the same showrunner from season 3, but the original one who created the show and the Chromaggs, they were fired. And now we have Quinn's brother in season 4. And in the first episode of season 4, we see that the Chromaggs, I forgot to mention, in season 2, they put like a tracing unit on one of the sliders so they can send them to their home world. And they do slide to their home world and then they conquer it by season 4. So in season 4, Earth Prime has now been conquered and taken over by the Chromaggs. That sucks. So we see like Chromagg ships were also known as Manta ships. They are now hovering around town. They're capturing people, they're enslaving people, and they're forcing some of the humans to work for them. Now, their appearance have now changed. They still have a ape-like aesthetic, but they're more human looking in the face. They have more jagged teeth. They lost their hair, and they resemble more of an actual alien from Star Trek, a very human, a humanoid, a humanistic looking alien type thing. So they're just bald with a big forehead, some facial ridges, and some pointy, sharp razor teeth. And their uniforms have now changed. Gone are now the black and red striped sweaters, and now they look more like Nazis. And now it's shown that they also travel with military jeep vehicles and stuff. The Chromaggs in this season are very militaristic. They still hate humans, but there's also a reason for that. They still hate them because now it appears that on Chromagg Prime, there was actually humans there. And the humans one of the parents, well, the parents of, I'm getting tongue tied. Okay, so like, it turns out that the parents of that world belong to Quinn. And it turns out Quinn does not belong on Earth Prime. He originated from Chromag Prime and has a brother. And so apparently what happened many years ago, not exactly sure when or how this happened, but a civil war broke out between the humans and the chromags. Why is never truly ever explained. You can kind of piggyback off of season 2 and probably just say that the humans made fun of them and that what caused it, you know what I'm saying? But we truly don't know, but it's probably a good possibility. So after they had a huge fight, the humans decided to create a weapon that would do away with the chromags that was created by Quinn's dad. The weapon, there seemed to be about either two weapons or one. So the weapon, which later got renamed in the 5th season Voltron, I think, apparently it's like this. The weapon made it so where it affects chromags only, but it affected the females a whole lot differently. After they gave birth, they would die shortly after. The chromags were no longer able to procreate, so they had to like enslave human women from other worlds, put them in breeder camps, and make what's known as like a human chromag hybrid. And these people, they look primarily human in the face. They have a couple of cranial ridges. I think they have normal teeth, and that's about it. And so with that, also they slid every single last chromag off that world. Now, the weapon was called Voltron. It wasn't called no sliding technology or nothing like that. So there's a good possibility that they created the weapon is its own separate entity and they just slid everybody off the world. Now this is what gets a little bit confusing. Now Chromag Prime, like I said before, very high tech. So high tech that it's more high tech than Earth Prime. The thing is, when they slid the Chromags off world, I doubt they would give them ships and a whole bunch of military stuff. So where the Chromags got that, who knows? Did they build it themselves? Who knows? When they slid them off world, did they go to an uninhabitable world? Possibly. So the question of how Chromags got their technology is very iffy. And they couldn't go back to Chromag Prime to get no technology because once they were slid off, they were unable to go back. See, Quinn's dad created this slide cage. Anytime they tried to slide, anytime a Chromag, I'll tell you the truth, anytime anybody tries to slide back to Chromag Prime, they get bounced off that planet and they go directly to this other planet known as the slide cage. And there Quinn's dad created this like infrastructure type place where they can live because the atmosphere is very toxic there. And so I am still kind of curious how they got technologies and weapons. Now, like I said before in season 3, when the other Quinn gave them slide technology, it's possible that when he gave it to them, they slid to another world that had all this cool technology and just stole it. You know what I'm saying? But we really don't know. Now, with their powers, now Chromags are giving powers. They have telepathy, they have telekinesis, they have, so remember I said they had the ability to make objects show in front of you and stuff? Before it was thought with technology, now it's their actual mind. They are literally able to like do some type of like Jedi mind trick type thing on you and make you see what they want you to see. And they can corrupt you, they can implant suggestions in your head, make you assassinate people, like you name it, you know. Now, other worlds that they go to, when they do conquer them worlds, sometimes they conquer the entire world. Sometimes it's just like a hit and run. They just want to load supplies and fuel and stuff like that. The worlds are getting to the point where they are now starting to like build a resistance to them. Bioweapons. they created this one bioweapon that kills chromags basically on contact and stuff. And so chromags refuse to go back to that world because they're too scared. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see. We only see one female chromag. It's in the 5th season. I forget what happens in that episode. I refuse to rewatch the episode, but then again, I am kind of curious. So I might just watch the 5th season again out of curiosity. But I know I'm gonna hate myself for that. Let's see. Now there is another Chromag Prime world that's similar to other Chromag Prime world, and there the Chromags are treated like vermin. They're treated like scum, and they're very docile and very tamed and very scared. And some of the humans there are trying to get them off world. Let's see what else. Oh, with their powers, the Chromads have the ability to heal people using some type of Jedi mind trick type thingy. They put their like if you seriously injured, hurt, they can literally heal you and stuff. And they have the ability to teach the Chromag mind trick to like humans, because they are human themselves. Now, when the professor met them in season 2, he assumed that they were some type of early ape primate ancestor of humans that killed off the human populace. But of course, we know that's not necessarily true. He was just hypothesizing. And if the professor ain't hypothesizing, then he ain't the professor. Let's see, something else about Chromag. So I know I'm forgetting. Oh, they created this type of like death ray type weapon that when set on human, it will kill all humans on like the planet. This was gonna be their greatest weapon ever, that they can destroy world after world after world of the populace of humans. Quinn and them find this out. They set the device to Chromag, and it killed all the Chromag on the planet. Then they destroyed the weapon. Since then, the Chromag, for some reason, didn't want to rebuild that. Now, Chromags are very mean. They will kill their own people if you make like the slightest mistake. If you fail in the mission, boom, you are killed. You are murdered. That and stuff. They are very like Klingonish about that. Oh, the food they love to eat. This is gross. They love to eat human eyes. Now, it's not shown that they eat anything else, but human eyes is the only thing they love to eat. Ew. Now, their sliding technology. Now, it was set in season 2. When the Chromag started sliding the worlds, they forbade humans to like slide. Also, their timers are completely different. Their sliding technology looks like something out of Star Trek. Everything looks like it's out of Star Trek. But their sliding timer device is basically like a little ball that connects to their waist. They touch it, and then the vortex opens up. When they actually see like a human-made timer, they're confused as to what it is because they don't make sliding technology that is that big. And their vortex is red because they're evil, just like the Sith. Oh, Tracy Torme. Now, even though it is shown that all Chromags hate humans, there are some that actually have a soft spot for humans. Like when Maggie saved one of their lives, he became somewhat infatuated with her. He wanted to bond and talk to her and like befriend her, but he was still evil to the core, and he was very conflicted. He couldn't decide if he wanted to truly kill Maggie and the rest of these humans, or if he just wanted to like coexist with them and stuff. Cause you gotta remember, they used to coexist with humans at one point and stuff. And his people, the one who created that death weapon, and he saw Quinn mess with it, so he knew Quinn did something to it, but he still allowed Quinn and them to activate it to kill everybody, or the Chromags that is. And so it's kind of like I wish they would have had an episode where they would have shown more of that, like more of humans and chromags getting along, and some chromags wanting to like fight against their own people. Because, like I said before, they now have a very Nazi vibe to them, and as we all know, not every German people was evil during those Nazi days. There was some that actually fought against their own people and stuff.